feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double X.
You're listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide.
That's right, you tell him, little buddy. You tell him you listening to Late Night with Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. Hope everybody having a fantastic Monday. We're moving into the super part of the holiday. That's right. We're about to celebrate Christmas. That's right, man. I remember I used to lose sleep during this time of the year when I was a young man. Looking out the window, watching the moon, looking for Santa Claus and Rudolph and all those great characters. That's right. Man, I was like, how long is it going to take Santa to leave the North Pole to drop off my toys? That's all I was thinking. That's all I was worried about. And dreaming how I was going to play with the toys. That's right. That man used to envision stuff even back then as a young man. That's right. I used to put it all in my mind how I was going to play with my toys. It was all planned. That's right. All right. Well, we celebrating 7 years in internet radio. God has been good. Blessed us for 7 years. Man, so it is coming. Yes. And we have a fantastic lineup of some powerful podcasters, some awesome individuals. I'm not going to shout out everybody's name because I'm going to forget somebody and they probably listening or listen later. But I just want to say thank you, and congratulations to you guys because like they always say, and Dwayne Dwyer said it perfectly, God did not put you here to do stuff by yourself. That's right. He did not. So I want to thank everybody that made Positive Power what it is today. But I do have to shout out a special person, Tina Hobson. She was working hard on this station like it was hers. Man, she was putting all into it, especially when we went live on Spreaker. And, of course, I got to shout out Linton Smith and Miss Benita Claiborne because they were the two that was instrumental in us, it was just like trying to go, launch into the moon. All three of us trying to get to the moon first. Who was going to get it done? It wasn't a lot of people going live until Facebook introduced the live broadcast. And then that's when, a lot of other internet radio stations were born, and basically that's just another form of broadcasting when you go live on Facebook as well as YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. They all just popped up, all at the same time. Which is a great thing because that opens up the door for minorities to have access, to consumers. That's right. Listening audience. Because that's what it's all about, man. Black people did really well back in the day in radio. That's all we had in our urban communities. That's how we found out what was going on. That's how we exchanged the mighty dollar. And, we make up a big part of this America when it comes to exchanging money. We part of, I guess, a $2-3 trillion economy, they tell us. And even in Africa, some parts of Africa is doing really well. They have almost a $3 trillion economy. They have a lot of young people that's doing phenomenal things in Africa right now. So don't believe the myths. You're always seeing those commercials that look like they starving and stuff. Everybody got the hood. We got them. We got them worse because we got drug houses and stuff, But of course, I'm sure it's everywhere. But they're doing very well there. Take my word for it. I know people doing some great business in Africa right now. So with all that said, I just want to shout out to a few of those nations that's listening to us on. Man, I mean, they almost half our listeners. And I want to shout out to my partners in crime, Pray.com. Andy, appreciate you, man. Making it happen over in Africa. And our numbers are huge in Brazil. And those guys do a lot of business over in South America and Africa. So I gotta shout those guys out. We got some monster numbers. So if you're one of those individuals, you're looking to reach some people and you're on the podcast and you by yourself, you want to join the family, come join us right here on Positive Power XI. All right, so we got a special guest tonight. She's going to be joining. Of course, this show is starring Shay Samuels tonight. She's going to be hosting the show. But a good friend of mine, really good friend. I mean, she just came out of nowhere, and I opened my door, and there she was, standing right at my front door. No lie, she was standing right. I knew she was coming, but I didn't know she was coming. And I'm talking about LEKEISHA MOSLEY, very, very good friend. And so whenever Batman needs somebody to talk to, and she don't pass judgment, she just give me her heal yourself speech, and then I'm all right. And then Batman is okay. But anyway, she's very instrumental in helping this system become what it is today. And like I said, Shay and Paula, those two and Kelly Howland, they host the Late Night with Jerry's live show, and they've been doing it for a good while now. I think Kelly was the last one to jump on board, and so another sidekick. So, but like I said, I'm not gonna name a whole bunch of names, but I had to throw those names out because they also do my television shows. You guys follow us. We have daytime television on Thursdays airing in Atlanta, metropolitan area, DeKalb County, and their shows do very, very well. People always hit me up. How can I get on the show? And it's filling up fast. But and I gotta say, God has been good, even though we've been going through this pandemic and we've been having issues. With not able to travel like we used to, because that's what we used to do. People used to travel here to be on these shows. And of course, Shay hosted a lot of Marylanders, and LEKEISHA hosted a lot of Marylanders on her show. And Paula, her guests came from all over the nation, as far as Kansas, So, we would host those shows here in the Atlanta area and also in Maryland. So, of course, the pandemic put all that to a halt, because we've had a number of cancellations. But because of technology, we've been able to, the show is still moving forward. And everybody's pretty much doing the same thing. Even your late night big time networks is actually Zooming. But of course, they're trying to get real fancy, but putting an audience on, on televisions, little television, like the people there and everything. So, everybody's being very creative with what they can do. But we, Positive Power is hanging in there, moving forward. That's the main thing. Hang in there and build what God gave you. Just keep building. All right, so let me say hi to Shay before we bring LEKEISHA MOSLEY on. What's up, Shay Samuel? How you doing? What's going on in your world?
I'm good, Batman. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday
I'm
to
good.
you. I didn't catch your Monday motivation today. Did you air it?
Yes, it was a throwback. Yes, I did. It was a throwback. Today was all about value. So you'll see a lot of posts today about value and us being reminded about value. So yes, sir, it was posted at 12 p.m. Actually, I posted it a little bit earlier today. But, I'm also doing audios, too, that air across a couple of stations. So I don't know what they played today. But the main one was a throwback. And it was all about value, understanding your value and your purpose.
That's right. It's so important, man. You got to know your value, because you can't put a price on nothing, or you may not have no value and you be trying to put a price on something that ain't worth nothing. That could kill you too. So anyway, have it at work.
Man, I saw a post earlier today, and it was talking about, you don't know the price that I paid. There's something about life, but it was really good. And it said, you just don't know the price that I paid. But the holiday season is fastly approaching, and I did a sermon yesterday, pretty much a message. They just asked me to do a message about the gift of life, and I was sharing out of Matthew 1:18 how, it was really about the birth of Jesus, and I was talking about how Mary conceived in the Spirit, and Joseph was trying to hide her from being disgraced, and my message topic was, your life has a hit out on it.
Wow.
So Jesus had a hit out on his life even before he was born.
Yeah.
And he was the gift of life. And there's so many people out there, Jerry, that feel because they have the title evangelist, pastor, preacher, teacher, and prophet that, they're supposed to be in these Bentleys and mansions. And I said, can you imagine Mary carrying the gift of life? And the Bible said that she walked and gave labor in Bethlehem. And if we follow the biblical way of how Jesus was born in the manger, it was very inhabitable.
Yeah,
it was like a manger with hay and all of that. But, you would think because she was carrying that gift of life, that she would have had a limo pull up to pick her up, take her to the Renaissance Hotel. She going to deliver, not at Grady, but probably at Northside.
Yeah.
For all my Georgia people listening tonight.
Right.
But, but he was born to die. And as soon as he was born, they said, where's this Messiah? We got to kill him. So as we approach this holiday, I want people to think about that. Like, who are you giving your life up for? Because our lives are gifts, and we have had to pay a price for it.
Yeah. This is probably going to be a very sensitive Christmas for a lot of people. I got two handfuls. I can name like up to 10 people that we lost in 1 year. And that's not even counting celebrities that I was very fond of. People you've been following. That, oh no, what's the world gonna be like without that musician? You think about that.
Yeah.
But the main thing I hope people think about, and I never really thought about this before myself until I was working in this program. It's kind of like a presidential program. It was a program that was actually initiated by President Obama administration. But they talked a lot about legacy, the people who was about to like retire and move forward. It's like they were in a rush to do something that people was going to remember their name, attached to that. It was almost like you're getting an emblem, So, I never really thought about that. But now you have people leaving and they're not being honored. They're not getting their proper burial if they get that. And so you said, wow, that person put so much work into this earth, their family, and it's like they just gonna be just gone with no celebration.
Yeah, so true.
And that's sad. That's the whole sad part of it. I was just thinking about what you just said about people evangelizing. My great aunt, she spent her whole life doing that. She didn't have no children. She had a couple husbands, but she spent her time preaching the word of God. I mean, when you call her on the phone, she would hit you with them scriptures. I had to be ready. And she passed. She lived to be 102, I believe, and she passed in April in New York at a retirement home. So it's like, wow, she family was in there.
Like you said, it's a very sensitive season. And, especially with the pandemic, people can't get with their families. And the holidays were already, a time where people were already dealing with some level of depression because of loss of loved ones or, just even this is like the loneliest time of the year.
Yeah.
But that's why I did the message about value today, because we have to understand how valuable our lives are in this world. And although you may not have, there's a lot of other people that may not have, but you have something to offer. Yeah. So that's just been my message, and it'll be my message all week this week, that your life has purpose. And so identify with that. I mean, even if it's just picking up the phone and, I remember when the pandemic first happened, I know we got to get LEKEISHA on, but when the pandemic first happened, I remember asking seniors, do you just need somebody to talk to? Do you know a senior that needs someone to talk to? You know how fulfilling it is to sit and talk to a senior and hear their, like at some point of our lives, we just were too busy for it.
Yeah.
But you know how much wisdom comes out of a person when you just sit and listen, especially the seniors. So think about that for this holiday season. If you're listening, what is it that you can give up of yourself this holiday season where maybe you would have been sitting in the house downcast, broken, depressed about things that have happened, what you don't have. And honestly, Christmas is a holiday that breaks a lot of people. How much money have you saved by not having to buy all those gifts? I made a joke on our show last night and I said, men, I'm going to give you a secret. Don't buy the diamonds this year. I said, I listened to a comedian say, if you buy diamonds, if the man buys you diamonds, that means he doesn't love you. He said he loves you when he buys you socks, sanitizer, Lysol, and a mask.
I said, give me pajamas. I said, I need some pajamas.
Have some fun this year. Have some fun this year and learn new ways to bring your family back together.
That's right. And then we're going to bring LEKEISHA Mosley. But I know last night my in-laws did a pre-Christmas Eve Zoom launch just so everybody know what they're doing. So we don't spend the whole hour trying to connect everybody. So they had a run through last night.
Right.
So that's going to be great to see them, because that was a part of it's my sister-in-law's in-laws, because her husband passed a couple of years ago, but they've been really, really close. It's a lot of them, and they do family get-togethers like almost every month, including the holidays. Right. So we kind of going to miss them, because we usually host a New Year's Day party here for them. So that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's going to be fun. Just make the best out of it.
Yeah. So we're going to do the New Year's thing on Zoom and toast and all that good stuff. All right, let's bring my good friend LEKEISHA Mosley. She just did an awesome show earlier today on her book, Heal Yourself. And I'm hoping that people are getting a lot from it, because sometimes you forget about the small things. And she shared the birth of her children on this podcast. It was really awesome, because sometimes people forget about that early stage of their children. Before you even held them, they were part of you, and they're growing up now. Yeah. Doing their own thing. What's up, LEKEISHA Mosley? What's up? How are you?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for this opportunity. What's going on, Shay Sam? Hey.
Oh, my goodness. I got to talk to you at the end of the year, huh?
Yes, at the end of the year. We got a few days.
We saved the best for the half of the year. Yes, I'm excited to be on with you tonight.
But did you guys see that?
I'm so honored. Thank you.
Did you see that awesome picture of you guys that was floating around? I found it somewhere and I posted it. It was you guys hugging.
It's framed up. I printed and framed it up. Yeah.
Wow, that was a great picture, man. That was true sisterhood. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Right.
We're gonna talk about that tonight too.
Well, I want to thank you guys for help us celebrate. This is just the beginning. We're gonna carry it on through a couple more weeks. Just giving due to everybody to help make this broadcast what it is. So you guys have a great show, and we will talk to you during the holiday. All right, have a great show.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Well, welcome everyone to the Monday late night Jerry Royce. Let me start over. Well, welcome everyone to the Jerry Royce Late Night Show. I am your co-host, Shay Samuels. I'm excited to be here. We cannot forget to give a great big shout out to our sister in radio, Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Thank you so much for holding it down on the second and the fourth Monday. This rotation has been really great for us as we look towards the holiday, and we look forward to doing so much more. But we got the other half of that trio on with me tonight, my sister LEKEISHA Mosley. We've been holding it down for some years, kind of. It feels like 12 years, but we've been holding it down here on the Positive Power XXI network, and it's just been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal, and I know that you guys hear her at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for you listeners, you're going to learn a little bit more about her. So, LEKEISHA Mosley, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thankful to be on this side of the podcast, triple podcast on Monday nights. Definitely. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much.
Yes. It's an honor for me to have you on. Like you said, sometimes we get an opportunity to just see each other face to face. Sometimes we're just like missing one another. You're introducing the 10 o'clock hour, but we're always so busy. But I think it just feels good when you can have one of your sisters on the other end. I know that we always give one another the bios, but it's like, do I really need to read that? Do I really need to talk about that? Because it's like catching up for us. It's like catching up. So for the 10 o'clock listeners, you will find out more about who she is. So LEKEISHA, if you can let everybody know for the 10 o'clock p.m. Listeners and viewers, who's LEKEISHA Mosley?
Absolutely. Well, I am. I guess I have to start from the beginning. I'm a woman of God. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher. Definitely so thankful for the opportunity to be that. I'm a podcaster. Just going over everything that I've touched. I definitely am an influencer. I love to make sure everyone is happy, no matter what it is. If it's through a quote, through a blog, through just a scripture reference. Whatever makes you smile, that's what makes me thrive, honestly. And literally just doing those things in the last few years, definitely just having my podcast, honestly, that was definitely God-given, definitely an opportunity just to be on Positive Power, LEKEISHA. Definitely just being an author. I love writing. I tell everyone I love to speak and write. I'm always been a talkative person. I love to write. I love being a coach, mentor. I love just mentoring children that may not have had an opportunity to glean from someone positive. I like being that type of person. So definitely love to speak. I love to go across everywhere, international and national, just being able to speak positivity. So that's just a little bit of me. I would keep going, but definitely just thankful. And I love good friends, love good people, just love to show a smile on my face so that hopefully you get a desire just to making Jesus famous. So that's
yes. We've had our own fun behind the scenes moments, trying to stay awake at the taping of My Journey. And that's what it's all about, just creating those moments, creating the moments that we can always look back and say, that we've done that, and we've had some fun, and we've met some good people along the way. Tonight, out of everything we're going to be talking about, your book. I'm excited for all the things that God is doing with you and through you. I am excited about your podcast. I'm excited about the fact that you've been able to even host a conference within the last year as well. So you've been doing so many, I didn't know I was going to do these things. And I remember just talking to you about it and just watching how God was unfolding right in front of your eyes. So let's talk about the author, LEKEISHA Mosley. You did say you like to write. So what about, you writing? How did you decide, I'm just going to become an author?
Honestly, it's funny, and then this may sound crazy, but God just told me to write down, when I'm good, when I'm sad, it doesn't matter. Good, bad, and ugly. God just told me to write it. Like, if I get a vision, I begin to just write it down. It's so funny. A phone is amazing. So on my phone, I have different, blogs, different articles, that have not been published, but at the same time, definitely those items I have it written down. It's things that nobody know about. I have it written down, and I save it on my phone, and I have them for a year. I've been doing this for years. So literally I have information for years that I have been blogging, just of my life, the good and bad and ugly, So I was just told to do that. I'm like, that sounds crazy to someone of the eye looking in. They're like, what are you doing that for? But I was just told to do it. And then lo and behold, look at my life. Look at my life now. I'm able to write and create. So.
And there's more too, though, because outside of that, you said, again, you like to speak, but you are a certified coach as well. And so I just did an end of the year kind of, email to all of my clients, and I let them know that they have to go back to the resources. Just made a good point. You have to go back to the resource, because so many people are looking to start from forward, but sometimes you have to look back. So from the business coach perspective, or the certified life coach or coach perspective, how can you, or what encouragement would you have for someone using that methodology? You can go back and look at the resources that you have. Those resources will move you forward. How can you encourage someone in that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, to sit down in those things that you've been through, just begin to document those things and look at them. Sometimes we look at things as from a bad standpoint. We look at them from a defeated standpoint. But listen, that is a mark. That's something that you've done in life. You never know. Someone may be like, wow, I remember being through that. you did that through too. So literally, if you're writing those things down, that's encouraging somebody else to win. Some people may have seen you in a light where, you are always thriving, but they never thrive. But you that encouragement is for somebody else. So honestly, taking yourself out of it, and understanding that you're not by yourself, you're not the only one. Honestly, that is truly, truly the vision right there. If you can just write down your life, you never know what you are. You may have had, just as far as being in a two-family home.
Yeah.
Two-family home is big because everybody may not have been through that. That's not saying they weren't successful, but just you being in a two-family home might have been different for someone else. It's like that vision. Write that down. You may not think that is something big, but it's big to somebody else. So those items definitely, somebody else can definitely have a vision of prosperity. So just looking at that.
Yeah, and I like that you said that too, because again, so many people are unaware, and it's like we have this big open field of everything that we can touch, and it's like, where do we begin? It used to be a cartoon, like, which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? Which way did he go, George? And as adults, I feel that way. I feel like it's just, we're in this big candy land, and it's like we want to touch everything at the same time. And I just told someone the other day, you really have to make at least one thing perfect before moving on to the next. And if you can put this on your calendar, you understand you'll always have something to look forward to. You don't have to get everything done within that 1 year or within those couple of weeks. There's some things that you can table, and I like that you're saying that. I wrote this out, and I've been doing it. But the one thing that I did catch on to, LEKEISHA, is that you were obedient. So talk to us about the price of obedience.
Wow, the price of obedience. This is huge because a lot of times you will, the naked eye, you will give up just at the point you were at that point, in life. You will think that it's all over, but God continues to evolve in your life. And I'm just believe that, that it's so important for us to keep that door open, allow God to continue to fill you, because God has more for your life, honestly, from the standpoint you're at right now. So if you just leave it open and trust Him, God is going to show you something new, show you something that's going to evolve in you. So it's so important just to leave it on, even though you don't know the answers, because honestly, you may not see it. Sometimes you may get your standpoint in it and give your vision in it and then mess it up. Honestly. Yeah. So
that is true. That is true. We always think that God needs a helping hand, and realizing Jeremiah 29:11 says that He already knows the plans that He has for us. What in the world are we trying to do to put a damper on those plans? But you do have a book. Your book, Jumpstart Your Life in Your Relationship.
Yes.
I found that interesting because we all touch someone. And there's probably, if you are listening, you probably aren't even aware that there's so many branches to a relationship. There's so many branches to a relationship. So what do you want people to get out of that book, Jumpstart Your Life in Your Relationship?
Absolutely. Look at your life as forever blooming up in yourself. So, usually we have a certain perspective, that happens in our life, and we will stop things going, in our life in that area. But God is continually showing you that you have something more, to give. And honestly, if you put a stamp of being in defeat, you will be stuck. You'll be stuck. God can't grow and move, if you put a stamp of being stuck. You can't evolve. So I would tell anyone to continue to leave the light on and allow God to move in your life, and that's where you're able to see something different in your relationships. A lot of times you don't see what you can do in that time frame. You don't see that person can add value in your life.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at something they did in the past, something they have not grew in. A lot of times we don't know what we may grow with someone else. So leaving the light on, God is always moving, for sure. So that book is definitely going to show you.
Well, LEKEISHA, you said leave the light on, and Motel 6 always says that. We leave the light on. People go to Motel 6 before they go to God, won't they?
I love that aspect. Honestly, it is true.
They
I
do.
love that aspect. I love that example, because a lot of times, what we believe, what we can see, that someone will show us something when we do that. So a lot of times it takes a Motel 6. It takes a Motel 6. So, this hotel is gonna give me some comfort. I'm gonna lay my head. I'm gonna be good. So your light is always on. Oh, I love that example.
Yeah. We'll keep the light on. But what I love about you is what you just said. You always are planting a good seed, and you always find an opportunity to do that. And I remember when we first met at the My Journey taping, and we had spoken with one another. Of course, we are a Positive Power XXI part of the family, but to see you person to person and your willingness to grow and your willingness to sow. And I mean, you get serious with it too, though. It's like everybody knows, like, her spider senses are tingling. They're tingling. And you know exactly the right moment to sow a good word. And let me tell you, I remember when we were at that taping, there were a group of kids that were there, and they were there for a class. And we actually were a part of the taping, but we were interfering with the kids' class at that time. But we realized, if you remember, that the kids are there to learn the ropes of media. Do you remember that? They were there to learn the ropes. And here we gave them an opportunity to literally be a part of what they were going to grow up into.
That was so
what did that feel like for you? Because you were taken back by it. I remember your face. You kind of like, we know that we have this to do, but being able to sow that into those children that day. I love you, Paula G, and I love you, Jerry Royce, and I love the My Journey taping. But that was the ultimate price of that to me, that took me over. Do you remember that, LEKEISHA?
Yes, I do remember that. That was definitely, it was not planned. It was impromptu, what we were doing. So it was natural. That's what the studio's about, all impromptu. Yes, they were able to really see the authentic us. They were able to see how it was, it was going to happen. So we wasn't able to rehearse, have a script. It was just truly authentic, how it was going to be. So they literally eyes open, just looking at us like, wow. I don't think they
looked at you like it was like she's a superstar. And you are a superstar, but they were looking at you like you were Channel 57 or Channel 5 News. They were like in awe. And that made me so happy. That made me so happy because they were really taken back. And honestly, that's the nature of what we do. That is the nature. That's what purpose will do for you as well. So I do want you to talk a little bit about purpose, because in writing your book, clearly you knew that God had a plan for you. Like you said, you were obedient. You went ahead and wrote down the things that God said to write down, whether it was good or bad. And then here it comes back around, and now you're an author. And so your authoring is now bringing an opportunity for people to come into your world, but for you to also sow the seed of purpose. So talk to us about how important that is in everything that we do.
Wow. It's so important for us to just really allow God to be God within us. Even when you don't know what's going to happen, So honestly, the process that he has always works. It took me a minute to get there, to really trust this process, honestly, because I'm like, wow, I know you God. I'm being honest. I know you God, but you sure this is gonna work? I don't know. I don't see it the way you see it, God. I don't see it right now. So you sure this is gonna work? And God is so present and so willing to allow us to get it. A lot of times we want to know everything that's going to happen. So honestly, that process is really how I began to really allow God to be God in my life, trusting that it was going to work out. So when he gives me a word, I just write it down. I say, hey, this is for somebody. I don't know if anybody's going to even listen to this. They may think of me, the old Keisha, back in high school, college, whatever it was. Look, they're like, I'm doing whatever. So I'm like, okay, God, I think this is going to do something. Somebody's going to listen to this one day. And it's like, within the writing, that's just pretty much how it was. Just, I don't got to be God in my life. And then I just knew it was going to touch somebody. If it touched one person, it's cool. Yeah. If it touched 100, it's cool too. So that was my process the whole time. Yeah.
Wow. And I'm thankful for that. If you guys are just tuning in, I am on the line with LEKEISHA Mosley, author, motivational speaker, certified coach, podcaster on the Positive Power XXI, podcasting on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But she's on with me today, so I get the honor of getting to know more about her, just like you guys are. And we're talking just about obedience and trusting and purpose and sowing the right seed. Keisha, LEKEISHA, we're in a time, we were talking about it earlier today, where, we've already gone through this we're still going through the pandemic. There's a season coming up, which always brings some level of depression, some loneliness. People feel they got to be snuggled up at this time of the season. And, I'm not going to say rightfully so, but it's how the world sets it up. We talk jokingly about the bells ringing, and everyone says that there's just something different in the air. You go to the malls and the music's playing and everybody just feels really good, and it's set up that way. But we're going through a pandemic, and there are a lot of people who don't understand what we talked about earlier today, just the gift of life. They don't really understand the value of their gift of life. And so you were just talking about becoming an author and how you just really had to put it down on paper. I mean, wouldn't you say this would be the best time for people to actually start to walk out their purpose? Instead of being lonely, instead of looking at what they don't have, look at what they can apply and implement, things that they have been possibly delayed in doing, but taking that time out to do this. Wouldn't you say this would be the best time to do that?
I definitely, this would be the best time to do it, honestly. Just think about some of the things you don't have. If you need a coach, a mentor, if you need someone, to give you a guiding ear, give you, just the tools that you need. Sometimes you may need, a process. A lot of times you've been doing things a certain way and you don't see anything see anything else to do anything else for your life. Sometimes you need somebody else that has another way of doing things, has another vision of you. A lot of times you may see yourself only as this school teacher, but, hey, God has a vision of you as being a speaker, being changing the world with your gift, but sometimes you only see yourself in that classroom. So you do need a coach, a mentor, somebody that is able to see something beyond you being that teacher, or, be able to see you as that speaker, and teacher in a different light. Yeah. And a lot of times you do need that help and support. So honestly, if you get somebody that's able to give you the insight of those tools, of things that you have within your heart, you're able to really grab a hold of that and do something different.
Yeah. It's so important. Yeah. It's so important. Are there any last words that you would have, words of encouragement? I know that we've been encouraging everyone throughout the course of this broadcast, but is there anything pressing? You know what? As a matter of fact, what I'd like to do in the last couple of minutes, maybe just do what you do at the end of your show, so that people can, identify with how you end your show and start listening on that podcast as well at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So would you do us the honor of ending the show?
Wow, that is an honor just to be on this part of the podcast platform, just to end the show. Honestly, pretty much what I would like to do. Pretty much, I believe I used this scripture is really cool. I did it on tonight's podcast. Mm-hmm. We have to do that again. So I did 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, verses 12. And it is, may the Lord make your love increase and overflow for each other and everyone else, just as yours do for you. So I believe that. I believe that's going to be for somebody out there. If you need an encouraging word to understand how your love will overflow, definitely take a hold of that scripture. Amen.
Ooh, that was really, really good. All right. So again, make sure everyone knows when they can catch you on your podcast again.
Absolutely. So it's every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely, you can actually go on Positive Power XXI, or you can go on all social media to find out where we are located at, and at pray.com, and definitely my website, LEKEISHAMOSLEY.com. You can find all of the current streams and influencer, president. Look, can't even say the word. You can influencer, isn't that funny? Influential, head, new age information. You can find my new blog posts. You can find new research, and you can also research how you can get a hold of my books as well too.
That's cool. And that's what happens when you do 2 back-to-back shows. So y'all don't understand how hard we all work in the background, but she just did 2 shows. So if she's tongue-twisted, it's because it's time to go.
Amen.
I am so happy again to be able to, like you said, you're on the other side of it, but it's been a while, and I was so happy to have you on the other side. And I am proud of all the things that you have going on, and I'm really looking forward to 2021 and what God is going to do with you in 2021. And I pray that every seed that you've sown this year, even on your podcast, is one that's going to be of great harvest for those who have received it, and that you will see the manifestation of it grow, and that people will be able to really start reaching into you and saying that you changed their lives forever. I do want to tell you that 2020, it wasn't a bust. I'm going to use it just for what it is. It was not a bust. Every single thing that you have spoken, believe that somebody has caught a hold of it. It is in their pocket, and when they need it, it is going to come out. So I am honored to know you. I'm honored to be part of what you're doing. I'm honored to be a part of your vision. I'm honored to be a sister, and I'm honored to be a part of the Positive Power 21 family, the Positive Power XXI family with you.
Amen. I received that. I received every bit of that. Thank you so much, Shay. I appreciate you so much. Love you.
You're welcome. Love you too. I'll see you on the other side. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Late Night with Jerry Royce and your co-host, Shay Samuels. I'm honored again to be a part of this Positive Power Network, and I'm honored that 2021 is going to be even better. Shout out to Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight, although she's never on after midnight anymore, but that's when the wisdom comes. So, Jerry Royce, I love you, and I thank you for all that you've done.
All right.
Happy holidays. We will see you after the new year.
All right, don't forget, again, thank you for helping us reach our 7th year in internet radio. Amen.
It's 7 years. Woo, woo. Yeah. 7 years, y'all.
This day.
7 years, y'all.
That's right. Positive Power was launched on 12/21/2013. Yeah.
I've always wanted to do this on air. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time.
House music.
Happy 7 years, Jerry. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too. And again, thank you for all you do. And don't forget, people, you can catch Shay on daytime television on the Red Room airing in DeKalb County outside Atlanta, Georgia, on channel 25. Catch it on the Earth channel as well. Just come out to our page, and all the fun starts at 10:30. It ends at noon. That's right. So you got to join us, y'all. Catch all that spirituality from the Shay. Right? Right, Shay?
Yes. The trio. Told you. We're the trio.
Yeah, I can't wait to air those shows. I thought since we started doing the remote program, we were able to, really tap into some real sharp people, it's on top of their game, that's doing a lot of stuff for the kingdom. So, this has been, bittersweet, doing a remote broadcasting, because we're able to travel all over the world to get people. We just had a young lady from Hawaii. We had a girl scheduled from California. So that would have been hard to do if we had to do all, in studio work,
Yes. It would
have been tough.
Yes. That's one of the things I love about the pandemic. The pandemic really allowed us to stretch ourselves and come out of the box with a lot of things that we were comfortable with. And so I'm thankful that I've gotten a chance to meet so many people that I've heard of and that I knew of. But like you said, they may not have been able to get into the Baltimore area to sit with us one-on-one. So I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, same here. Who knows if it would have ever happened, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we probably still have been operating the way we were before. Because LEKEISHA and I, we was traveling Maryland, with pop-up studios, making connections on both shores of Maryland, and things were starting to open up there. But it was slow. It was a slow process. But this way, things kind of speed things up, because we still want to make those connections with those people. And that's one of the things I like to sit down with her and to talk about, 2021, our new target audience, for her show. Because, you kind of want to make sure every show kind of has its own flavor, and, I'm big on Maryland. I love my Maryland. But at the same time, I understand what the other major metropolitan cities like Atlanta and New York is doing at the same time. So it's best to incorporate all three into what we're doing. So I'm grateful for God for, setting our sights, like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I said, expansion is one of the words that I'm carrying on this year into 2021. So expansion, and I think it's going to be great for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Because people always praying for you to expand your territory, and it's like you never really take their word like it's a pot of gold, because that's what it is. Because when God expands your territory, it'll blow your mind sometime when you dedicate your life, your tidings, your time, your resources, you'll start to see these things happen. But some people give up on things so fast, when they think it's not going anywhere.
People give up what they have in mind.
That's right.
I was watching Shark Tank the other day, one of my favorite shows. I just love seeing the creativity of these entrepreneurs that come out. And there was a guy, and this guy had, for years, been trying to market something, and he did a great job selling it. He did a great job with promoting, and he was actually a marketer. He had gone to school for marketing, so he knew what to do, but he needed the investors. And they actually were more interested in his passion than they were the product.
Wow.
And that really struck home for me, because you never know that someone's watching and they're seeing your passion outside of the product. They're seeing your willingness to push through. And they not only heard his passion, but they understood his story and identified with it, because each person who was sitting there as an investor started somewhere. So just know, whoever's listening tonight, including myself and Jerry, you never know that the person, you got to remember, the person you're pitching to has been where you are. And you always should be reaching you should be reaching to people who have walked in your shoes. When you're aspiring to do something, there's no need to talk to people who are sitting on the same playing field, because that's where we're bumping into, and that's kind of my little coaching moment. But you always have to reach for someone who's been where you are, And that person can tell you how to get there, but they're going to tell you your way of getting there, not their way. But reach for someone who's been where you are, and they know how to get you to where they are.
That's right.
The gold in that is this, Jerry. The gold in that is this, that a person who's willing to help you elevate is not afraid of you elevating, because as you elevate, they elevate. And that's what relationships should be about.
That's right. Connections. Connect them with the right people, of course. Some people don't always have the same intentions. So you do have to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, where you tread water.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
That's what everything is.
Well, I like that.
Everything. But this was fun.
Yeah, we're going to end on that, too. I'm not even going to try to talk over that, because that was deep. That was deep. That was a good one.
Wow. Jerry, thank you. It's been a while since we stayed on afterwards. But LEKEISHA, thank you so much for coming on. I love you, sis. And I will see you guys after the holidays.
That's right. So look, everybody, again, thank you so much for helping Positive Power reach 7 years, because we could have easily gave up, you know, sometime in the middle when things got rough. But we hung in there. And that's what it's all about, y'all. You got to hang in there. You know, 3 years, 5 years. 5 years is pretty much when people give up. You know, you can get over that 5th year, that 6th year. What they say, 6 years in marriage. You get over that 6th year, you're home free. Same thing with business. That's right. All right, everybody. I'm Jerry Royce, live worldwide, aka the Batman of Charm City, and that's Shay Samuels coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget, we will be airing all through the holiday. So don't be afraid to tap into what's Kelly say? Tap into an unspeakable joy. Is that how she say it? So we will be airing. So come check us out. All right, we out of here. Send us home, little buddy.
From Haiti, but I'm living Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21. Jerry Royce live worldwide.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.